Of course, I'm ready to go live. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, April. How are you this morning? Hopefully, everybody's having a great morning. It's coffee time. Time to have some coffee and watch the weather. Listen to the birds chirp. Yeah, I got Dad up here at the doctor's. What's up, Indiana? Hello, Mr. Blanchard.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, Dad had to brought Dad to wound care this morning. So y'all want to hear some great stuff? You remember we went and filed paperwork with the captain and the investigator and all that stuff. Well, I found out yesterday that they conveniently lost the reports. How convenient. They lost the report. Nobody knows where the report is. How convenient is that? Hello, Scott. Imagine that.
What a convenience.
Conveniently losing the paperwork. I have copies? No, they never gave us copies. I have it on video that they took the report. Matter of fact, it's on the channel.
Mm-hmm.
But somewhere in their infinite wisdom and processing, paperwork has disappeared. And conveniently, they didn't enter it in a computer because the person that was supposed to put it in never did put it in. And guess who finalizes all reports that are given, guys? I'll give y'all a guess. I ain't even gonna say. I'll let y'all just tell me there in the comments who finalizes all reports for that department when it comes to matters like that. Couldn't be the same person that's facing court or charges for corruption. No, that would never happen, right? they would they would never let something like that happen because they're innocent. Oh yeah, something else too. And that I hadn't had a chance to tell everybody. Our mayor resigned, got up, walked out of the meeting, right where we live. Yep, said he's done.
He was tired of it.
Got up, walked out of the meeting, and told them that he was done. He was over it. There will be a follow up to that. I don't blame him. I would leave too. I wouldn't want no part of the good old boy system and the games and stuff like that. Ronnie Webb, mayor of Hollow Rock.
Oh, I feel sorry for him.
Well, he was vice mayor, so.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny will tell you they play all kinds of crazy games around here. Absolutely 100% craziness. Ronnie Webb was sworn in yesterday as the new mayor of Hollow Rock.
I feel so sorry for Ronnie. Because he's like Bobby. And I like him.
Well, they keep saying that, I keep hearing a lot of the anti-auditors or First Amendment people keep saying that everybody's the same and, they're only doing it for clicks and views and this and that and everything. And then you take real people who's not doing it just for clicks and views and everything, and we get put in that same category. And but when they get to know me or get to know Mary and find out that it's not like that we're not the same. Yes, I do call people, government officials, pigs sometimes. I do. And I go on a little tirade and rant and carry on. But how much do you have to put up with and everything before people realize that not everybody's doing it for clicks and views? Hello, Richard. If I hadn't been over the last 2 years publishing what's going on YouTube for no clicks and views and no money up until about a month ago and everything, and that we'd probably be in a lot of shit because they would have framed us. People wouldn't know what was going on if we'd got arrested or got railroaded on some bullshit charge. We publish it and tell y'all about it for accountability. It's a story of what's really going on. Hollywood can't write this shit. And I don't hate cops. Matter of fact, I've got friends that are cops.
Mm-hmm.
But the sad part about it is the ones that are doing the good job, like Danny and other people, and that get railroaded. Their hands are tied because of crooked government officials.
I need to go in and set up real quick. I got ultrasound on my stomach.
It's a process, and people sometimes don't like the process.
And they don't like the truth.
And they, like Mary said, they don't like the truth. But I'm starting to feel a little better. Went through some health issues. Got a hell of a scare, and I don't mind telling everybody. But I didn't want to come on and feel I knew what was going on and really talk about it. But everything is good. Uh, Slowly but surely back on track. Healthier, eating less, and all that good stuff. Sometimes it's what it takes. You know, you have to have a little health scare to get you to get back on the right situation. We went and cleaned out a storage unit yesterday, but it wasn't worth filming. It was just, yeah, bunch of boring stuff that wouldn't nobody care about. No way. Not the furniture anyway. A lot of people don't like it when you film furniture. But what was the other stuff that was left in there? There was a lot of vintage clothing and some vintage concert T-shirts, some vintage football stuff, uh, and that, which is pretty cool. A lot of the old vintage Nike and Adidas, so it was worth that going to picking it up. It'll sell really well at the flea market and everything. Probation officer Susan Denham was arrested yesterday. What the hell? Imagine that. Now, is she the one that's in Huntington, Kenny? Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Yeah, we got a little smart ass cop in Brewston that I'm gonna have a talk with. Uh, I think me and him will get along just fine. I think he'll like me is what I think. I think me and him will be best friends. Yeah, that's sarcasm in case y'all didn't notice. A lot of sarcasm. So how's everybody doing? Everybody doing all right?
Hello, Moto.
Ain't even 8 o'clock, hardly 8 o'clock in the morning. Damn telemarketers. Gotta love telemarketers. Got to love the telemarketers. Well, if you're a wrestling fan, anybody ready for the pay-per-view this weekend? Well, it's not really a pay-per-view. It's you watch it. It's a premium live event. You can watch it on Peacock. Called Backlash. You can see the 17-time world champion John Cena versus Randy Orton. John Cena. You can't see me. Who don't like John Cena? This guy. I don't like John Cena. I think he should go back to making movies with The Rock and get the hell out of my business. Just what I think. Just my opinion. But I'm entitled to that. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. What?
I gotta call that number and get it scheduled.
That's always fun.
Yeah.
Call this number. Talk to this robot. That's what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, it's warming up.
Mm-hmm.
Warming up really nice outside. Kenny was saying probation officer Susan Dillingham was arrested yesterday.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Don't surprise me none.
No.
Don't nothing surprise me, right?
Oh, wait till Nikki hears that.
Yeah. Crazy shit. So what's everybody gonna have for breakfast this morning?
Food.
Ha ha. Indiana, how you feeling, buddy? You doing any better?
Yeah.
Order out for delivery. Heck. Order out for delivery.
Church.
No, actually, it's mine.
Oh.
And the bracelets.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
The one that says "We the People" on it.
Oh yeah.
Has that big skull.
Yeah.
Chicken jockey.
Oh.
Kids can't wait for that to get here.
Oh, I know it. They're excited. They're hoping those come before school lets out.
Oh,
They want to wear them to school.
I know it. Yeah, they only got 2 weeks of school left.
Yeah.
2 weeks of school. 2 weeks today. 22nd will be the last day of school. Then Harley will be a junior and Hunter will be a sophomore.
They're growing up too fast.
Hell, Harley will be 18 in January.
Gosh, I know. Dang it.
Oh, I know they're monitoring it, bro. We don't have any debt. We don't, there ain't no probably to it. We already know they are.
What?
They're watching our channel.
Oh, yeah.
Every time we go live, they sit and watch it.
Yep.
Or go back and watch it. We know this to be a fact.
Yep.
We've already been told. But you know, I don't really have a problems with people wanting to do the right thing, but when they don't want to do the right thing, and I think a lot of that has to do with fear. The ones that are not involved, but are involved indirectly, and that are afraid to speak out because of what'll happen to them.
Yeah.
Good officers get killed by corrupt departments, or get fired and blacklisted so they can't go somewhere else and be a good deputy like they're trying to be where they're at, in fear of retaliation. Because when the city council's corrupt, the judge is corrupt, the fucking court system's corrupt, the sheriff's department's corrupt, what are they supposed to do?
Their hands are tied.
And obviously somewhere in the TBI and higher up government officials around here, they're corrupt too. Because how else would a former sheriff get indicted on 113 counts of and only get probation? How does that happen? 113 felonies and gets probation. Bro, let me commit 113 felonies and see what happens.
They'd put your ass under the jail.
How's that not federal prison? How do they not wind up in federal prison? But yet we're supposed to trust our government and their process. I don't know about y'all, but
how can you trust somebody like that?
I don't have too much faith in a process where a crooked man gets charged and found guilty, not pleading, found guilty, and gets probation. I mean, something just don't click there. But that's what happens, like we've said before and everybody else said before, and that instead of the government and the police monitoring and investigating themselves, there needs to be an independent, non-biased group that investigates cops that are, even if they're not guilty, even if they're found not guilty, and that, but when an allegation is made and it's serious, it should be done by an investigative, independent investigation and everything. That way, there's no corruption. You can't say, well, okay, well, that's my best friend Bob, and I'm going to let Bob slide because, yeah, me and Bob are crooks. I'm just using that for an example. I don't know if there's somebody named Bob that's fucked up, but yeah. Could be.
Anything's possible.
But when you live in a small town and there's no accountability and nobody monitoring what they do, and they're hiding money and that, and you know, burying it in paperwork, and there's no independence, and they're not allowing the public to see what's going on, or they won't give the paperwork to the mayor like they're supposed to, what are you supposed to do? That's where there needs to be people that come in and investigate and put these little towns and shit back on the right, because you know who pays for it? You do. I do. Even though it don't directly affect you, but it does. Even if you don't live here, it affects you. Because when these small municipalities and these ones that are getting by with it, where do you think that money comes from? Federal taxes, grants, and that they're supposed to be using it for this and that, and they bury it and hide it and twist it in paperwork and everything, and the taxpayers pay for it. Whether you're paying taxes now or not, you've paid for it somewhere. You go to the grocery store, you pay taxes. Where does the taxes go from your grocery store? Back into the federal government to pay the fucking employees. John Q fucking worker at McDonald's, they're paying taxes. I pay taxes. Mary pays taxes. We pay property taxes. We have to, regardless of whether I'm working or not. If you don't pay property taxes, what happens? Where do you think the fucking property tax goes? You pay federal property tax. You pay county tax. Where does it go? County, you pay it to the county pays it to the state. Federal money. And from what I understand, the money that you pay in for taxes and everything, the state don't even get that much of it. They get less than 3%. So where's the rest of it go? If we're paying in so much taxes, how come your roads and my roads and everybody else's roads that we drive on every day are in such bad shape, in such a disarray? Well, I don't know about wisdom. I've been to a different school than most people. I've been to the school of hard knocks, and something a lot of people don't use anymore is common sense. And you know, it's like the other day when I was having a conversation with a couple of gentlemen, and by the time I was done, everybody in the restaurant except for this snooty little white old woman and everything was enjoying what I had to say. The lady, I think, got a little upset because I used a curse word. Well, you know, it's called freedom of speech. Not everybody talks. Not everybody talks the way you do. And if the word shit offends you, well, that's your problem. Because what offends me is when people use other words because you're a bigot and you're judging somebody by the color of their skin or because of the religion or whatever. I have a problem with that. And if you have a problem with that, then that's your problem, because maybe you are the one that's wrong. And maybe you are the one that's a racist. Somebody told me the other day, James, you should be in politics. No, I shouldn't. Nope, I shouldn't be in politics. I'll tell you why. Because they wouldn't like me. Because I don't sugarcoat it. Well, how come? Well, you're an ex-con. That's why you hate the government and you hate the police because you're a convicted felon. That's why you hate the police and that's why you hate the government. And no, it's not. I own my mistakes. I made a mistake. I done wrong. The cops didn't do wrong. They done their job. The court system didn't do wrong. They done their job. What I don't like is when everybody is not treated equal. When you're a corrupt sheriff sitting in an office and you're looking down your nose at me, and that when you've done worse than I have. I made a mistake. Mine was a mistake. Yours wasn't a mistake, buddy. You're the one that chose to embezzle money. You're the one that set up a government fund to embezzle money and use inmates as slaves to pad your pockets. Well, you better watch what you're saying. They'll come after you and blah, blah, blah. So what? Come after me. I'm just telling the truth. It's public information. Look it up. Gibson County, Tennessee. Look at it. 2 sheriffs already from Gibson County, Tennessee have been indicted. One convicted of 113 felonies and got probation. So how am I wrong? How am I wrong? Current sheriff under indictment for 22 counts. Does that mean the whole department's bad because they got a corrupt sheriff? It's possible. But then again, there's probably some good officers there that are on this sheriff's department and that can't do nothing because they're afraid of retaliation. And you don't know who the hell is working for the sheriff. You may be out on call one night and get shot in the back. Look what's happened in Kentucky. By golly, where a jailer shot at a man. It didn't get nothing. They didn't do shit to him. If the people that are currently working for the sheriff's department are in fear for their safety, why shouldn't we be a fear for our safety? And what's going to happen is the higher ups. It's going to take something on the FBI level. They're going to secretly start talking to these people, give them a deal, probably the worst one in the department, and they're going to capture everybody except for the main person, and the main person will take a plea bargain and get off scot-free when he's the one that started the whole mess. You see it all the time. It happens. But you guys and me and Mary are not supposed to have an opinion. We're supposed to trust the process, believe in the justice system. But if you're not wearing a badge or whatever, where's the justice? Now, I'm not saying that people that are convicted of crimes are innocent. Okay? I'm not saying it's okay to go out and commit a crime. But innocent people get railroaded every day. And most of the time, it's the people that speak out against the government because they don't want you talking. So they make up bullshit charges like interference or 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 disorderly conduct because of your freedom of speech. And because we got too many people that bow down and kiss their ass. It's true. It's true. And I keep hearing the same thing over and over. Well, most of the freedom fighters or whatever, they're criminals. That may be true. But usually it's the people like me that they come after because you got into a little trouble, and they treat you any way they want to because they know they can, especially if you're on probation, and that they fuck with you. And that's when you find out they're corrupt, because they mess with the career criminal or somebody that's gotten into trouble, and that even if it was a mistake. I made mistakes, but I don't blame it's not, like I said, I don't blame the cops or the court system. That's not why I'm angry. I'm angry because there is no justice for the same people that are willingly doing the same thing, not because they made a mistake and chose drugs, okay? Because of greed and hunger and power. And they've gotten by with it for so long without fear of consequences because they have that power and everything else. And I know you guys have heard it before, but the statement's true. Back the blue till it happens to you. But who's going to believe you? Who's going to have your back? Who's going to publish your story? Who's going to talk about what happened to you? The clean little politician who don't have time for you because you're a criminal or you made a mistake, or somebody that understands where you're coming from. You keep talking there, nightmares. You're a snake. That's what you are. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. I was I was answering a text message concerning a storage unit that we're cleaning out. We have this storage facility ones that nobody wants and stuff, and we clean them out, which has been quite fun. Keeps us busy. And hello, Tragic Guru. You know, I don't have a problem with anybody's opinion. Auditor, anti-auditor, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. And you know, I can't for the life of me understand the way some people do their thing, but they do your own thing, man. You know, it ain't for me to judge what you do. But you know, sometimes you have to treat people, even if you know they're bad, with respect, because you can catch them messing up that way. I've been watching a couple new people. I kind of like their style. I don't necessarily agree with everything, but I like their style. Everybody's like, "Well, I never see you in chat. I don't never see you talking." Well, no, I don't talk a lot. I can watch. How do you get educated? By learning, by watching. That's how you get education. Hello, Miss Kimberly. How are you, hon? Good to see you this morning. Hope you and Boo are doing great.
Morning.
She said, "Hi, Mary." But if you go back and look, guys, how many people, except for Tennessee Accountability and a couple others, have you seen right here in Tennessee? You don't see many people here in Tennessee.
No.
I've begged them to come. Come check us out. And it's not the big cities. You're going to find shit in big cities, but it's not the big cities. It's not.
No. It's these small towns that have no accountability. Mostly.
We're doing okay. I'm feeling better. Was pretty sick there for a little bit, but getting better now that some of this pollen and shit's starting to lay down and all that good mess.
14th, I go get the rest of my teeth out. Then in 6 weeks, I get fitted for dentures.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
I'm not. That means you can bite me.
I know.
I don't know or not.
Well, you can't run around saying bite me anymore. Yeah.
Uh,
See that?
Okay.
okay. It was frozen. It was frozen. Well, the more this internet connection gets worse, and everything I'm gonna say, you guys again, and I'll catch you later. Love you guys.
Yeah.